Hello YouTube, this is Tammy Pie and I'm back with another video. Hopefully. I'm hoping I can get this done fairly quickly. Today is a big Super Bowl or playoff day in football in America, and that's where I'm going very shortly. I wanted to quickly jump on and do a VR to my friend over at Shanna D. Tarot, and this one is called #favorite jeans decks, which I saw maybe a week ago or week and a half ago. I thought this was a interesting way to go with tarot, because there are decks that are just comfortable that way, the way a good pair of older denim jeans are. You just slip them on and go, right? You can put on a fancy top. Yesterday I went to a wedding at the old airport, and I wore my jean shorts. I just put on a nice kind of Hawaiian top to do the party and see friends and family. It was really good. And then there are decks that are not comfortable, right? Decks that you pick up and you're like, okay, this is going to be an effort, but it's worth the effort. Or this is going to be work because I'm going to have to go to the book for this. Or, decks that you're studying, decks that aren't as easy for you. These are all decks that are easy for me. I've been doing this for a while, so I don't expect they're going to be easy for everyone. Some of them are. Some of them are kind of easier decks. Even a couple of these are decks that you might be pretty familiar with yourself. Certainly my audience. I think my audience is a lot more people who are into collectible decks and older decks. Not everyone, if you're new here, welcome. I like the weird stuff. Okay, so let's begin. Question 1, a well-worn sweater. And this is a deck that wraps you in quiet wisdom. And I have to admit, I went back and forth with several different things that, maybe this, maybe that, but in the end, and this is in a Moonlit Fae bag, not all of these are, some of them are, but this is my Thoth, and I don't have my trimmed version. That was my first deck with me. It's back in my tarot room in Yakima, but this one I've been carrying with me because this one I've been kind of defaulting to. And this is a greenie. I bought this on eBay, pretty cheap price actually, like less than $60. And I think it's like an 86, I'm not sure. But the pictures are very clear. The paintings, Lady Frida Harris's paintings, that's my significator, the Queen of Cups. So this is my well-worn sweater deck, and mostly because it's a comfort to me. It's something I've been using since the very beginning. My first deck was a Thoth deck. So prompt number 2, or question 2, a familiar walking path, a deck that knows where you're headed before you do. And again, this was really hard to pick one deck for, because sometimes it just seems like a deck knows what you're going to ask. The Shimmering Veil is this for me. The Tarot of the Spirit is this for me. But the one I chose, and this is in this cool tiger bag that I got. I forget the lady's website. But I got this at Newt's. And this is the Banksy Tarot. Oh, I've been playing around with this. This was my draw for. So these are the backs. And I've been fooling around with the quartz for this. The quartz in this deck are brother, sister, mother, father, or mama, papa. But this is all Banksy's art. And the person at Coupe de Lou took this art and turned it into a tarot deck, which very much speaks to me and my revolutionary past and future, as it turns out, as the times are getting rocky again. I mean, I don't know. Hasn't it always been a little crazy? Yeah. Anyway, so Banksy Tarot is very comforting to me in that this deck kind of knows what I'm feeling before I'm feeling it and takes me there. Question 3, warm socks on a cold floor. That is a comforting feeling, isn't it? I am here in Kailua Kona, and it's warm, kind of hot here all the time, a little muggy. But, I mean, still, when I'm up at my mom's, up on the hill, it gets cold at night. And it is really nice to have, those pairs of socks that keep your feet warm. And she said this is a deck that grounds you in comfort. So when you're looking for just that feeling of it's okay, this deck isn't going to say anything mean. And I don't know, maybe sometimes it does, but this is my pocket version of the Gentle Tarot by Mari in the Sky. And did I say that Banksy was by Coupe de Lou? Coupe de Lou on Etsy if you want to find the deck. But this is aptly named the Gentle Tarot. It's gotten a lot of press lately because she just, I believe the Kickstarter just finished of the first in a series of oracles that she's doing to go with this tarot. And that's My Friend Fire, which the oracle looks amazing. And I look forward to future oracles that also go with this deck. But this deck has come out in several versions. There is a Kickstarter version, which is full size. There is a version that's in linen cardstock, which is, I think, a favorite of most people. But this pocket size one in the metal can is my favorite. I really like the kind of brushed gold edges. I like the little added gold that she put on the back. I enjoy the size of this. It fits in the hand really beautifully. And yeah, it is gentle in a way that no other deck is. The Five of Stones, this is the Five of Pentacles. Look at this girl looking down at the green turtle. It's so quiet and so unassuming. And yeah, it's definitely a warm socks on a cold floor deck. Prompt 4, or question 4, Grandmother's Recipe Box. A deck that holds generational wisdom. This is one of my first decks. And it's in this bag that was handmade for it by Ragged Poet. And this is the Three of Cups, her interpretation of it in, material art. It's really beautiful because there are pieces of material that are behind it. And I don't know, it's just really nice. Every time I unwrap this deck, this is one of those folding wrap decks, so you can place 3 cards on there. This is the first edition Tildwick by Neil Lovell at Malpurchase Designs. I believe they're still selling this deck, but in a later version, which the later versions have the art a little bit brightened up, I think. I think the main complaint for some people in this early version of the deck was that it was hard to see what was going on in the art. But speaking to generational wisdom and looking at the recipes in your grandmother's box, this is, as you look at it over time, you discover things that you missed before. Just like when you look at that recipe for whatever, macaroni and cheese, you realize why your grandmother used that kind of cheese, why she maybe wrote down which pan she wanted you to use when cooking the macaroni, what brand of macaroni she used. And in this deck, as you get to know it, at first it's like, what's going on with this, the Five of Cups? You realize that there's more going on in these images than first you see. So this is the Three of Cups that my bag was embroidered to look like. So it's a gate, right? So you're going into this house through the gate, and there's those birds sitting on the cup. I don't know. It's very quiet and unassuming. And as you learn this deck, as you get more and more familiar with it, there's more and more in the images. They become part of my history, reading with this deck. Just even looking at this deck, just sitting down and unwrapping it and looking at the quartz. I'm going to put the quartz on Instagram now that I mention it. I'm doing an Instagram, not a challenge, just someone said, let's do quartz. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Next prompt. Prompt number 5, a window seat on a stormy day. God. Right? Okay, I think this is the one that I'm looking at. This is in a Moonlit Fae wrap, which since I got the one from Ragged Poet, I really like these wraps that are, you can put a card or 2 or 3 on the front of it. And this was made to match the art in the Playful Heart Tarot by Playful Heart Tarot by, I can't think of it now because I'm brain dead. I went to a wedding last night with the kids and saw just a bunch of people, friends and family, and it was really beautiful ceremony on the beach at Old Airport. There are a lot of friends of my son's, and it was actually in the same pavilion where we held Max's memorial, the reception, which, you know, it's a really popular place for he and his friends to be. And I couldn't help thinking, you know, if he were alive, he would have been there, and he would have been a big part of the celebration because it was his good friend that was getting married. But it's good to see people, you know, doing the thing, trying to be happy, making an effort at living, which Max would have done. So sometimes when you're stuck inside in inclement weather, gazing out, you need to, do a little cat in the hatting. Feel adventurous, feel happy. Go inside with your imagination. Go to happier memories, right? Even though you're looking out at what is snowy or rainy or sometimes dark, you need to remember that even the world, the plants, the trees, need a little rest, need a little quiet, need a little coldness once in a while, so that in the springtime, things can come back alive again, right? And that is the Playful Hearts. Kitten Chops. By Kitten Chops. Okay. Prompt number 6. That one pair of jeans you never have to think about. You just slip them on, right? Yeah. And for me, and I guess what she says is a deck that just gets you without trying. And that is, when someone asks me a hard question, can you do a reading for something freaking difficult and you almost don't want to do it? This is a deck that I will go to, and it always gives me, this is another one I need to put some quartz up. It always gives me good, sometimes great, just obvious readings. Like, why didn't I think of that? And this is Spirit Keepers Tarot by Benabel Wen. This is the 3rd version, 2nd printing. Oh, I love this card. The Haunt, 9 of Swords. And I really know this deck very, very well. So it always gives me really good readings. The Destroyer. That's the card for my decking. The Rogue. I love this. 7 of Swords. Really great stories behind these decks. 4 of Swords. Ace of Swords, the Sacred Word. Herald of the Winds. That's the Page of Swords. The Shining Gale. Oh, all the Swords cards are in front. I must have had this in order. Yeah. So that is my my one pair of jeans that I never have to think about. Definitely. And look at the bag match on that. Isn't that great? Okay, so your chipped but perfect coffee bug. A deck that doesn't need you to be fancy to show up. This one was one of the more obvious ones. This is my purse deck. This is Nellie. I've been playing around with the Lenormand cards. And this right here kind of tells a story. Can you see how she's kind of turned back and forth? That's because this deck has tarot, Lenormand, playing cards, and card divination in it. So here are all the trumps. Let me show you some of the trumps. There's the Emperor. I'm kind of on this card for a while. The Tower. Let's see. The Alchemist, which is Temperance. The Sun. And there are 2 Sun cards, I think, in this, but this one is the Sun and Tarot. The Magician. The Teacher, which is the Hierophant. Death. Empress, Terrarium, the Chariot. Anyway, this is Kelly Fitzgerald's brainchild. Here's some of the Lenormand cards. Fox, bear, tree, mice. And these are the cards that you take out of the regular card deck. That can also be used in cartomancy, right? So that's Nellie. And Nellie doesn't need anything from me. She doesn't need me to put on my fancy coin earrings. She doesn't need me to do any explaining. She is there in my purse when I want to play solitaire, and she's there when I want to turn her into a tarot or a Lenormand deck, and she's awesome. Nellie knows. So that is my chipped but perfect coffee cup. 8, the book that you've read so many times, the pages are falling out. Oh, we've all got them, don't we? Those books. Oh, yeah. I love it. A deck that knows all your stories and loves you anyway. And that, my friends, is Dame Darcy Mermaid. This deck, this is how this deck originally came. It came in a organza bag, shrink wrapped, I think, with like these little pieces of paper that she had hand drawn, and she hand drew instructions for the tarot on. But these are the backs. So, yeah, I've had this for a long, long time. Spent many hours at the beach with it. They say here in Hawaii, because it's a small island community, that Hawaii never forgets. But she loves you anyway. So that is the first edition of Dame Darcy Mermaid Tarot. And that is my book that has been read so many times, the pages are falling out. Yeah, she's coming out with like a new edition of Mermaid, I think, and Alice, I'm not sure. All right, prompt number 9, the playlist you've had since high school. A deck that knows all your phases and still lives. And this one, I went for supernatural. There are a couple different ones that I could have done. I was very nearly chose the Star Trek Tarot. But I mean, I'm actually more comfortable with this. The Star Trek Tarot gets me excited, but I'm more comfortable with this one. And this is an inside edition, so there are the backs. I have it edged, and of course I soaked this one so it's nice and smooth. And I just love this tarot deck. You know, I understand why people are frustrated with the lazy pips. I don't think they're lazy. It's just different. And yeah, there could have been more pictures, but you know, sometimes you need a little pip, right? So this is the supernatural. This is my playlist that I've had since high school. And honestly, I do have a playlist here on YouTube, and it's weird. It's super weird. I was at a concert not that long ago, and the guy was like, "So, do you listen to such and such?" Who was playing at the concert. No, not really. I was there to sell t-shirts with my friend. I didn't even make it to the headliner. I had to go home because I need to sleep. But I was like, no, I listen to weird stuff you probably have never heard of. And he was like, well. So I started telling him some of the stuff that was on my playlist, and he just, whew, yeah. Go listen. Some of it's weird, some of it's cool, some of it's pretty contemporary. Okay, prompt number 10. Your go-to takeout order. You don't even have to think about this deck. It just works without all the fuss. And again, some people are going to look at this and go, what? But this was the second deck I bought for myself. Somebody sent me Thoth, then I bought Tildwick, and this was the next one I bought. So I've been using this for 10 years, probably 10 years. And this is the 4th edition of the Alchemical Tarot. And I have the 5th edition, but this old glossy cardstock and my green edging and, all this stuff, I just fell in love with this deck. Studied it a lot for a long time. And I know I like it. I know it works. And so this is the one that I use. And it's always good. It always works. This is another one that I had in order for some reason. I wonder what I was doing. I think this was probably for when I was doing top tarot trumps. I reordered a lot of my decks so that I could find the stuff quickly. Love the aces and the kings. The kings are all animals, and the aces are all just really inspired. This Ace of Pentacles is great. Okay, so that is my answer to Shanna D's favorite jeans decks. Favorite jeans decks? Hashtag favorite jeans decks, yeah, which are your comfort decks. And thank you for coming.